Nerds after pod interview post real quick. We ain't gonna keep y'all long. You know, we all got things to do. I hear my son in there waiting for me to come out. I promise him we'll play video games. And, you know, as you know, kids do, sometimes they're not agreeable. So you may have to leave a little bit.
Hey.
But hey, that's the game we in, baby. We dads. We don't got we got very little rights when it comes to kids. They don't see understanding. They just want it. They just want what they want. You know what I mean?
Yep. They owe it to us on Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to you. We ain't really like been in the podcast zone since Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth.
Oh yeah,
all my blurs out there. You know what I mean, all my brothers and sisters out there in the blurred space, outside the blurred space, doing what it do. Speaking of Black, we just finished our interview with Derron Flood, showrunner and creator, and all the jobs and hats that you wear when it comes to running a con. He wears them all. Of Atlanta Comiccon, you know, coming up here this August 21st through 23rd.
Oh yeah.
You know, I know it says 22nd to 23rd, but you know, if you watch the podcast, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? If you're about it, you get your tickets to day zero. That's all. I'm gonna put it right there.
Yeah, we gotta go there, man.
He came through, blessed us with some exclusive. You know, but it was good to finally get to talk to him. He apologized about, you know, not coming on the podcast forever. We don't need those apologies, man.
Yeah, but hey.
We're just here to help the culture like you, dog. That's what we're here for. You know, represent, help out, and do what we can. And that's why we are here to promote it as well. Just make sure y'all get your tickets and show up, because it is
it's gonna be the ish.
It's what he's building over there. Atlanta Comic-Con is, yes, an animated comic book convention. You know, that's how we all are here, how we came to be. We're blurs, we're nerds. You know, we like what we like, and we're gonna love it till the day we die. Ain't nothing gonna change. We're gonna cosplay forever. But like, what Atlantic Comic-Con represents to the culture and to Black people is something different. And each year has been better. This is the third year of Atlantic Comic-Con, and trust you me, you don't want to miss this year. This is going to be a monumental year. I can feel it. What were you saying?
I'm about to say, let him know. Tell him he said there's going to be tournaments. There's going to be games, tabletop games. I believe he said.
Yeah, so like all the games and tournaments that you experienced last time are there. As y'all remember, last year, the video game tournament, he had turned out for that first place award. He had the belt. His goal is to top everything he does the year before, and so far he has done it. And from what we have heard, he's about to do it again. And it's about to take another level, bro. Like, from the guests that we were hearing that's coming, to some of the panels that he has going on, to some of the special events that he has going on as well. You guys do not want to miss this year's Atlanta Comic-Con 2026, Norfolk, Virginia. Be sure to get there, because your boy's gonna be there. We're gonna be there. Speaking of, I gotta pull the trigger on that damn Airbnb. Stop forgetting. My mind has been everywhere. It was my daughter's birthday this week, so it was a lot going on. It's finally over, so we could I can do what it do. But yeah, the podcast is gonna be there in great capacity. So look out for us, and hopefully we'll see you there. You had mentioned LoreCon is coming up as well.
Oh yeah, LoreCon. What was the date?
It's October, right?
Yeah, I think it is in October. Yeah, LoreCon.
It's the first annual LoreCon. I'm excited for it. I kind of want to go, even if we can't go in podcast capacity. It looks kind of cool. I know Kane and Canna were going to try to go as well. So even if we can't get them on the pod, which we're going to try to do, we're going to try to see the creators of LoreCon, get them on the pod, and talk about LoreCon. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, it's a convention to explore your fandom and different types of lores. So I think it's going to be really cool and fun. It's in Raleigh, North Carolina. So hopefully we can get them as guests, and maybe we can get in as a press.
Yeah. I'm just believing I'm gonna be there because I'm in Greensboro, and I'm like, yeah, okay,
it's like hopping and skip
40 minutes down the road. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Might as well. I have to come crash. Be like, yo, I might have to come up.
hey, come through the borough, man.
But also you had mentioned Tranquil Ashes convention, the gala.
Oh yeah, the Cos Gala, man.
Cos Gala.
I'm gonna be attending this year. I meant to attend last year, but I had a lot going on. But yeah, I can't miss out this year. I heard, man, the vibe is good.
Look, guys, if y'all, you don't have to be a fan. I'm not a very fancy person, but everybody dreams of being like real fancy sometimes, like dressing up. Like Cos Gala. That's
cosplay and a ball, dress,
bro.
Tuxedo.
Just like you could just think about it. Come as tuxedo mask if you want. Like,
hey, you can't
go on fire. Go
on be fire. The thing is that it's usually a different theme each year. Last year was video game theme. This year, I believe the theme is Olympus. So just imagine, like, Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, any Greek god or goddesses, clash that with like, dresses, tuxedos, anything like,
is it strictly Greek or like is it like mythical gods, like of different
mythical
cultures?
God, it can be either or.
That's
right around the corner.
Yeah, it's coming up.
That's DreamCon. I was that's the same date
DreamCon is coming up as well. I won't be there. Hopefully
I won't next year.
Sorry. We have a bunch of people from their point of that will be in attendance. Hopefully we can like get them on the pod while they're there. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we can DM them, man. Make sure see what they say. That'll be dope.
Let's do that. Also, I kind of want to start, and I want to get some of the people from their point of on the pod sometimes. It'd be cool to have them on, just talk.
I'm about to say.
Anime,
let me know.
Manga. Get some of them on.
I say, let me know, man. Of course, I'm part of Nerd Porno. I can hit up anybody that you want to interview.
This is a Nerd.0. This is a Nerd.0 pod. We got Canna, you, me. This is Nerd .0 pod officially.
About to see if you want to get some Six Red Kage Afro back on the podcast.
We can get them back on. Try to get them on frequently. We should start doing that.
Black Women's Films. Like you said, Ari. Man, there's a lot of people. I can't even name them all, but yeah. We got plenty of people.
Bro. Speaking of, before we go, I want to say again, buy Black comics. Just got these in from Resolve Comics today. Like I got home from the vacation and these were on the front door.
Give me one of them. Give me the
super dangerous. It's about a black kid who was in college and discovered he had superpowers and just started using his powers to help people, help the environment. And then one day the government says, hey, we got your family. You're going to do what we say now. I got 1 and 2 because I backed the Kickstarter Keeper's Oath, which was fire. I enjoyed that a lot. That was issue 1. Can't wait for issue 2. And they threw in a freebie.
They worked out.
This looks insane.
What does that say? I was trying to read the title.
Offspring.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like a crazy horror type joint. Like it's thick. It's volume 1, so it's a big book. I'm guessing it's 2 or 3 issues maybe in here. But yeah, big shouts out to Resolve Comics. Hopefully I can get some of you guys on the podcast and we could talk about some of these dope ass comics that I just got. You know what I mean? Yeah, so support, Black media, Black art, Black creators, Black comics, support Black heroes, support yourself.
Support us. I mean, hey.
Look, like I said,
that's all we ask.
Black representation, good. Support Black owned, better.
That right there.
Prioritize Black owned. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, nerds and blurs? It's your boy Nerd Solo, and we're back with another Nerdcast podcast. And currently, right now, we're solo, but hopefully, we got Bruce certified joining in shortly. But today is a special episode because we got the showrunner, the creator of Atlantic Comic-Con, Mr. Derron Flood himself. How you doing, sir?
What's up, man? I want to apologize before we get into anything because you should have been done this, bro. Like you've asked 29 times and I've lied to you. I pushed it back and from me to you, I mean, I really apologize. And my hope is that there's a way that I can make this up, maybe another interview or when you come up, what I mean, I'll treat you to something. I don't know, but yeah, man, it's
I
on
appreciate
record. Here's my
it.
apology from me to you.
Nah, man, I appreciate it. I mean, you've accepted me to be a part of the press team for, Atlantic Comic Con when I applied and things, you look out that way. I know a lot of things be busy with running a con itself, let alone owning a gym.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't understand. Oh, see, there we go. There we go. I'm gonna have to hold it because it's just gonna fall. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, I'm having some technical difficulties. Broke my microphone, so it sounds different, probably a lot more louder, but we're gonna work with it. But yeah, I don't know how you do it, finding the time in the day to do both things at the same. I'm sure there's probably a little lull after con season, but maybe you have to get on the grind for the next season immediately. Um, but yeah, man, I mean. First of all, let's talk about your blurred journey in general before we get into all that. Like where did it start and what got you to become the blur that you are today?
Um, I've always liked cartoons like that. I mean, I feel like all kids like cartoons. And I'm 40 now, so like I feel like I'm a part of like the golden age of particularly anime, but even before that, um, like superhero cartoons. X-Men the animated series was like had the biggest impact on me being like a blurred. And that kind of led into me being a big time comic book collector. That is like the crown jewel for me when it comes to like the area of black nerd
Yeah.
interest is like comic books. And that even evolved over time. It went from me getting more to mainstream stuff. And back then, if you old enough to know that like stuff like the Avengers and Iron Man was like
It's like
E tier. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was X-Men. It was X Batman is always A tier, but X-Men kind of led me into just like getting a bunch of back issues. And then in the 90s, there was a lot of X-Men spin-offs too, X Factor, X Force.
Mm-hmm.
What's the young adult one? It was Chamber and Generation X.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all of those like in the 90s and the early 2000s. And then like when I went off to college, I kind of took a step back because with sports and shit like that, like I just didn't have time to like really nerd out. And then when I graduated from college, I got back into comics, but in a very different way. Like I shift my focus to black comics,
Yeah.
black authors, black superheroes, black themes, and like my collection reflects like to the point I became so fanatical about particularly black characters and black authors and black illustrators in comic books that I sold
Mm-hmm.
off all of my high end stuff like Hulk at 181,
Oh
sold that
wow.
shit off. Yeah, I had two of them. Um, I sold off I had 9/8 on First Harley Quinn. I had two of those solos off to get rarer black books. So like I completely purged. I had Avengers #1, Iron Man 1. Like I had a
Mm.
bunch of you know anybody would think you're crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To like trade those in for say like a Vampirella #1, which is still a key issue. But for me, like the significance of that book is very different than most people. Vampirella is like like bronze, silver age, like staple, high-end grail book, but people don't know that that's like Billy Graham's very first artwork. So for me, like there is value underneath value because Billy Graham
For
is
the
like
one that
the guy, you know what I mean, for like the Bronze Age and like doing all of those early Jungle Action books and Black Panther books.
different
So
values for different eras and like,
exactly.
prestiges of collectors. Like,
Exactly. And not to nerd out too much, but like even so much so with like there is a book, uh, giant size Spider-Man #4. And the significance of that is I believe it's Punisher's second or third appearance. And it's a high-end book. And 9.8 it's probably around 2,500, but it's also like the first appearance of Moses Magnum, you know what I mean? And
mm,
like the black mutant that is amazing to me. You know, if you look at his story, he tried to take over Wakanda, you know, and make it a black capital city, you know what I'm saying? Like just things like that. And I just really went far left with that. And I'm really proud of my black comic collection.
nice. That's really dope. And I do always like to not really come clean because I don't really hide it at all. I grew up not collecting comic books. My dad didn't read a lot of comics. My older brother lived with his dad. He wasn't really in the comics either. So I was a cartoon kid. So like all the oohs and ahs is really just for like that sounded important, and for, podcast effects just to keep the
Hey.
conversation because I know a lot about comics just because I'm catching up now as an adult,
Mhm.
but I don't think I'm ever going to catch up DC Marvel wise because I got into cosplay and comics heavy when I discovered the blurred community pretty much. And so like
You've been
all
missing out.
all these aside from like these four books which are anime and manga, all of these are black books that I collected from cons like yours and Blurred Con and things like that. So that's where I'm at with it. I got home from our vacation today and
Mhm.
had a package from Resolve Comics and like these five comics. I was only expecting four from them, but they blessed me with the fifth one. So like I was excited about it. I get way too turned up for the black comics right now to really worry
So
about these.
I mean, it's necessary, bro. Like you already know what time I'm on. I mean,
Yes,
the
sir.
general population don't necessarily know what time I'm on, but you know, I think it's wildly important that we're hyper invested in our own communities, in our talents, in our creativity. Heavy emphasis on the creativity, black creativity, not Asian adjacent creativity, white
hmm
adjacent creativity, black creativity. And so everything that I do, as you know, kind of like springboards that idea. You know what I mean? I had made a post on social media, and man, it's hard for me to be me in public because I know how people will receive this. But I don't know if you liked the statement or not. But I had made, when I'm vetting different vendors and artists and stuff like that. Like if I can't tell that you're a black artist, you don't have a spot at my show.
Yeah, I did too.
I
Yeah.
mean that shit. Like art can be subjective, art can be perspective, but I need to know by looking at your art that you're a black person. You know what I mean? And it's a talent to disguise that, you know what I mean? But also that's not what we're trying to accomplish at Atlantic Comic Con. You know, if all of your artwork looks like white people and Asian people, and there's even white aesthetics and Asian aesthetics, you don't have a space in Atlantic, you know what I mean? Like, and I can't stress that enough. You know what I'm saying? Like black creativity is one of those things where even black people kind of tenses up when they see
Mm.
it. I
Yeah.
mean, and I don't want that at all. You know what I mean? Like we need to grow to love what we're producing. And
Yeah.
so that's the premise of Atlantic to the core.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to go ahead and welcome in Certified. I got excited about the black comic aspect and forgot to say what's up and
I know you
introduce you
good,
guys.
man.
Actually hadn't even met before, I don't think. Have you guys?
No.
No, this is my first time actually meeting. Hey, the one and only creator of Atlantic City Comic Con, man. Nice to meet you.
Atlantic City. Oh shit. No.
Atlantic. I do that
I
every
mean,
once in a while. It just comes out.
I mean,
Atlantic.
Atlantic Comiccon.
Atlantic. Just stop it right there.
Yeah. My apologies. My apologies.
It's all good.
The Atlantic City is in New Jersey.
Right, I get
Ah,
that, and then I get Atlanta Comic Con. They be like, "Yeah, man. So where you at in Atlanta? You like
I haven't
closer to
heard that one yet. That's
Douglasville?" Like, I be like, "Nah."
wait, pump your brakes. Wait a minute. So yeah,
Right.
my apologies though. I had to make sure my daughter was good because
So,
actually her mom was supposed to actually watch her while I do the podcast, but
nah,
yeah,
you're
that's,
good,
that's what
man.
kind of
It's
held
all
me up.
good. Family first, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. It's
But
always
yeah,
all
I see. I
right,
came
man.
right on time. Y'all talking about comics. I'm like, okay, that's right up my alley. 'Cause, I
Yeah,
got a whole
he's more of the
collection over
comic
here.
guy right here.
very
Certified.
good.
He knows a lot more than I do.
Yeah,
I kind of assembled a team around me. We all compliment each other in the ways, pick up each other's slack wherever we don't have
yeah.
it.
If
Nice.
anything, I definitely try to, of course, support my black creators when it comes to the comics. I don't feel like the recent comic that I bought, it was from Marcus what was his name? Marcus the visual
Okay.
Tuskegee Hurt. Now I
Oh
love his
yeah,
I love his comics. I have I think I have three of his issues. I
yeah.
think
Greg
he dropped.
Burnham. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get that whole finish, getting the whole collection. I know he
I
dropped
think I
more
got
with the
those over there
series.
somewhere as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the
That right there,
Tuskegee
man.
Airs. That was
Marcus is a phenomenal artist. Phenomenal,
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah.
You know,
Shout out to him.
it's strange because he actually offered to do some of the badge art at our convention,
mm,
and I had to humbly turn it down. Like it hurt me.
Man.
Yeah, it hurt me, bro. Like because I have his artwork everywhere. I have him do original pieces and all of that. But the main reason why I turned it down was because I've seen that he's done stuff for DreamCon and he's pretty much like the mainstay at BlurredCon. Like we want to be our own people. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like we want to be our own convention and brand it as such. And while I think he's literally my favorite artist, like I don't want because our mission is a little different, we want to have our own everything. You know
You're
what I
trying
mean?
to create a
Like,
different
you know what I
image
mean? Yeah,
aside from everyone.
exactly. And so I hated that I had to do that because man, that brother is
Phenomenal, man. Like,
I mean, as a penciler, as an inker, as a colorist, like he just
Icon.
yeah. Like you said, you can just look at his art and just tell, okay, yeah, that's actually a black artist. And
right.
you can see some of his work behind me. His Killmonger, he did this, he did Black Panther. He did, I got the Raleigh with him
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
The
word.
Infinity Gauntlet. So as you can tell,
It's
he's my
tough.
favorite artist as well, man.
He's a fucking animal, bro. Like that dude is amazing, man. Like, yeah. Maybe in the future, like when we are like our own thing and everybody
Well
kind of
established.
recognizes us, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm big on like the branding aspect
Yeah.
of, you know what I'm saying? And we've been rotating artists in and out, you know. We want to give people who doesn't necessarily have the platform and opportunity to do the badge art. And our badge art is something that I take a lot of pride
Yeah.
in. I
Yeah.
mean, so I'll pull people from out the woodworks, you know what I mean? Like I'll literally go on Instagram and put black artists and then literally like minutes on at a time, like, all right, I like this, I like this.
Scrolling,
I'm like,
looking
yeah, yeah.
through.
And I'll reach out to somebody, and I'll be like, look, this is what we're trying to do. And nobody says no to an opportunity like that, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's a great way to give some exposure to an up and coming talent, black folk, a black person, but also like showing people that we still have a hand in the community, and that's something that
Yeah.
we'll never, you know what I mean, get away
Something
from.
you're constant on and, trying to lift up the, up and coming, the people trying their hardest to, to get where they need to be or want to be in, their perspective art, or
Yeah,
talent wise.
sure.
But I was going to ask you, because I do like to ask a lot of people, I'm always curious, when did cosplay come into effect in your life? Because I know, especially in the Black community, I didn't see Black cosplay growing up at all, unless it was Halloween, and then, I didn't get bold enough to really start doing cosplay until I was around surrounded by black people cosplaying,
Right.
So when did that come into effect in your life? And is that like a big thing in your life? Is that just something you do when the time calls for it?
Um, so maybe about 10 years ago, is when I did my very first one. I did a Darth Maul, and that shit took
Ooh.
forever, bro.
Ooh.
Like it was like, oh, the paint alone. I was like there for like
For
three and a
those of
half
y'all
hours.
don't know, when he
Ooh.
cosplays, he goes all out. I haven't
I go
seen
all
all of them.
out.
I didn't
I'm
see the
about to
Darth
yeah,
Maul, but
for
Yeah,
that
he doesn't
perfection.
do it himself.
I
He
go
hires a
crazy with
painter.
that shit. Yeah, I go crazy. Like I go crazy with that shit. Yeah, maybe about 10 years ago I did a Darth Maul.
Okay.
It it's super important for me. And I miss it like hell because I'm always working, and when I go to shows now, I'm working them, so I just can't get the same opportunity to do it. And then, like you
Hmm.
said, I go all in. Like I'm hiring this person, I need this person to do this. Yo, I need a phone smith, I need this. You know what I mean? Like
That's
putting
crazy.
that shit together. It's super important. My hope is that as the show continues to grow, and I'm not afraid to take a weekend off from a promotion opportunity and stuff like that. I can get into these shows and actually just like cosplay and enjoy a show for what it is as a spectator and an attendee. But yeah, about 10 years ago, it's super important and it's something that I want to do more often. I actually have a goal to cosplay on Sunday at Atlantic. Like that's a goal of mine. And
Ooh. Okay, okay. You
yeah,
save, I guess you're saving your
Because
own trip.
it's all work where you're there. You're on the move, being
right,
able to
right.
get in cosplay, and like
That
you said, it
again,
takes
that's
a
my
it's
hope, bro.
Mm.
because like we said, you don't go little, so it's a time consuming getting into the cosplay,
Right,
and then you gotta get on and do what you gotta do and be in cosplay at work pretty much.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, but I
But
mean, I
not
can actually relate to that though, man. I mean, 'cause I know I'm a cosplayer myself. I know if anything, I'm a perfectionist as well. So if anything that I do, I make sure it's on point. Paint is good, foam, make sure nothing don't fall off. And
Yep.
I know it's time consuming, especially, if you're always working, you got a family. Hey, I can understand that, man. 'Cause
Yeah,
you really got to manage your time just to
yeah.
make sure.
When I met certified, he was doing the Saiyan armor
Oh yeah, the
football team, college
oh yeah,
football team, just different types of
man.
teams and stuff.
And
That
that
was dope. I
yeah,
was like, that's cool. I ain't seen nobody do that
that
really.
took time. I'm telling you, man, just that right there. I mean, before, of course, I had, my daughter. I say that alone took maybe like about 4 days. Now, I mean, yeah, as you can, some people know that I really kind of do them now because I mainly, it's hard to kind of manage time to do that as well as, work because I work a 10-hour shift, at night. Then, of course, come home, take care of my daughter, make sure she's good. Yeah, it's time consuming, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I
See,
can definitely
I
understand.
don't do my own thing. I usually hire out everything, so I ain't. But even then, it's. I'm not doing the character that I would potentially be doing on Sunday doesn't require any paint. But like the costume, I don't want to give it away. The costume and everything that comes along with it, it's a lot. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just a matter of me slipping it on, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's no real work on my end. My apprehension is that because I'm so devoted to my work, I know that I won't be able to enjoy myself because I'll be putting out fires, running from here to there, and doing
yeah.
that in costume. That shit is going to irritate the hell out of me. So,
I do
And hey,
not blame you. I
the
do not
price of
blame
that, yeah. About to say that's one of the cons of being a cosplayer, man. Once you put it on at a con and you got to do this and that. So yeah, if you, it's gonna be kind of hard to run a con with a cosplay on. So hey, I already know. Oh, you got that heavy. Yeah, I don't know how much it's gonna weigh, but yeah, just having all those layers on, you're sweating, all that man. Weight, yeah, it's gonna wear you out.
you. That is funny though. Just imagine someone in actual all paint, just not panicking because you don't want nothing bad to go on, but just like I gotta be over here right quick.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't blame you for saving that for on Sunday. Less stuff going on. Less stuff to stress about. So
Yeah, but
Saturday is usually the big day, and Sunday it kind of the attendance drops a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. Woo.
Yeah, it might have a little bit more downtime.
Right.
But this is the fourth installment,
Third,
the
third.
third annual Atlanta Comic-Con coming up. What you kind of hit on it a little bit earlier. What drove you to want to create a con or, create a con in general?
So I've been going to conventions. I remember when cons were comic cons, like for
Yeah.
literally just comics and
And I always get confused on do I call so I don't want to feel like are you a Comic Con or you're an anime convention? Like
right, right. It evolved into that. But Comic Cons used to just be like comics and then like merchandise. Like we
Yeah.
used to have G.I. Joes and Barbies and shit like that, you know what I mean?
Like,
Toys. And then as it became more popular, it became more of like a fan thing. They started introducing wrestlers and pop culture, movies and things like that. I would probably say around like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. You know what I mean? It evolved into more of like the what we know of it today, like this all encompassing fan, you know, convention thing, fandom convention thing. But for me, what really did it for me was going to BlurredCon for the first time. But even prior to that, just establishing relationships with different creatives up and
Mhm.
down the East Coast, all out the West. When I went to BlurredCon for the first time, shout out to Hilton and BlurredCon. Those are big brother over there. Love him to death, and I appreciate everything that all the information. Like he's been a monumental piece in the growth of because he'll pick up the phone for me whenever I call. But going there for the first time kind of was like, holy shit, bro. This shit can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this is a cookout. You're like for real, for real. We're always sprinkled in all of these conventions that are not owned by black people. We're always sprinkled in there.
Hmm.
And we're really good at creating enclaves of black pockets of what we do, whether
Yeah.
it's like we'll do this pop up for black people or this pop up for DBZ nerds or this black pop up for, and so I hate that, right? I hate that
Hmm.
we have to create
Collab to have a space.
right to kind of like segregate and kind of get off in the corner somewhere. And I was just like, I don't think that's right. But also like conventions didn't even see any value in that because if I'm a con runner and I notice that people are creating community within my space, let's go ahead and designate a space for them. You know what I mean? And platform that. And beyond just like platforming it, like there's a huge opportunity even for white con runners. Like if you say that we're doing this for black diversity, whatever, like that makes it more attractive to black attendees.
Yeah.
I never saw that. You know what I'm saying? Outside of BlurredCon. So I was like, you know what? Hilton, I want to bring this same vibe to Norfolk. I hate that I have to wait an entire year to be around other black nerds. It pisses me off. It takes me like 2 weeks to even come off of this shit because I'm still high from
Yeah.
being around other black
Everybody
nerds.
get that
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, God damn, I
hangover.
gotta wait 11 months, bro. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like
Like,
I said, man,
I
that
hate it,
constant,
bro. And
that
and
con
so
sickness, man.
right. And so I was just like, man, we need to try to do something similar back here in home. And so, I got with Hilton and he was giving me the rundown of what I needed to do, what I didn't need to do. And here we are, year three, what I would consider one of the fastest growing conventions in the country.
Yeah,
Man, I wouldn't be the one to argue against that because I went to Atlanta Comic Con and I was going to ask you about this about this earlier, but like your guest list, it's a little different than the average cons guest list. It's not saying it's like devoid of anime creators per se, but they're creators that may be anime or nerd fan, not just anime, but nerd fans, but that might not be their first bag. You
Yep.
know, they might dabble usually in the culture more, or like in the sports world, but they're all black guests that you get on the list. You had Deontay Kyle and Conscious Lee at the same con last year. That was crazy. That was crazy.
How'd you make that happen? Like, hey, okay.
So listen, man, I will fly to you. I will come knock on your door. I will pop up to where you at. Like I have a vision to make my show the blackest show in America. And so while everybody tries to act like blackness isn't a monologue, when someone isn't black, you can feel it. When someone is black, you also can feel it. So I think that people, black people particularly, because that's all we're talking about here. Like I don't know if we're afraid to say this is black and this isn't black, just from the stigma that comes along with it. But I feel it innately when I'm around black spaces and black people, regardless of your interest, right?
Yeah.
Like your interests don't make you less white or less black. It's that cultural element. Like language is black, how you look is black, all of these things are black. And so when I'm thinking about the guest list and then also the future of the show, I never want to get away from that central blackness. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
While we are a Comic Con, um, underneath all of that is a cultural arts expo. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For black people by black people.
Yep.
And so it's important for me to get people who are socially, politically black in this space. And so having a black astrophysicist is super important. Like,
I'm
how many
excited
people
about it.
comes around a black person who's a fucking astrophysicist?
What's my guy's name? Tyler. I
Dakota
forgot.
Tyler.
Dakota Tyler. I just
Yeah,
recently
like
started
Hey,
listening to his
nobody, like
podcast.
who has access to people like that?
Yes.
Far and in between. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
Uh,
very awesome to see because like bringing your kid to an anime convention
mm.
and you see a black astrophysicist who's
Holy
a
shit.
cool dude, who's a cool
Yeah,
dude,
you don't see
bro.
them
Holy
every day.
shit.
He's a cool dude. Like, come on
But you see
now.
what I'm saying? Like that access is wildly important beyond us just having a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
man.
black people, black kids need to have access to people like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We can
Because
still have a great time. We're going to have the greatest gaming tournament. We're still going to have the voice actors. We're still going to have the anime fan. But beneath all of that needs to be some culturally not only sensitive but progressive voices and faces within the space. And I'm never getting away from that.
yeah, because I haven't always been, I've always been, black positive and for the culture, but I haven't always been on the journey that I am now of learning and continuing to learn. I don't regret anything I do, but my 20s was, I partied a lot, had fun in college, didn't do what I needed to do.
Right.
And, but so like I'm always excited to see things like this. So like when you have like so now on the front of my conscience, when I go to anime conventions, it's like we're celebrating Asian culture and stuff as Black people, though. But like, I don't want to get away from that, but I don't really want to necessarily celebrate that first because
There's
we're
nothing wrong with that. So, and
yeah.
I want to be very
I'm still going to be my anime fan self. Like I
right,
love
right.
it.
I want to be clear. There's nothing wrong with being an anime fan. Listen, I can talk with the best of them when it comes to anime. You know what I mean? I love that shit. But it's very, very weird that black people can't get around each other and talk about culturally black entertainment or anything else beyond, hip hop music. And I love, again, I'm a huge hip hop fan. Uh, but like in the context of a convention, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so like we are providing that space. You know what I'm saying? Like we can still converge, we still can have the conversations, we still going to game, we still going to have black voice actors that lend their talents to anime and other cartoons. We're still going to have comic book creators who've worked in Marvel and DC and all of these other things. But underneath all of that, I want people to be like, God damn, this shit is black as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Because
You
like
know,
I got
I feel right at home. Like,
right, right,
I got a little
right.
sticky note right here. It says black representation. That's good. And then the greater than equal sign goes to wait, where the hell did I put it? There it is. Black representation goes to black to support black owned, and then the greater than sign goes to prioritize black owned.
Yeah.
Because like that's pretty much how like I said, I've always supported black and things like that, but I never really dove deep, and done the reading and learned the things and what that actually means and what I should really do if I really want to do that. And that's like I said, I love Batman. I love Green Lantern, but
Due to well, I hate
I'm
that.
gonna buy my black comics first.
Right.
yeah, me, I'm the same way. Like if I see it because I don't know why, but at comic book stores that I go to, it's like a small amount of black comics, like Black Lightning. My favorite. I don't know. I'll say second favorite DC character. Him, Static Shock. Cyborg. Looking at Marvel, Black Panther. Of course, I'm going to approach those first before I go to someone like Batman or Captain America, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
And I always know you hated Batman. I'm not necessarily like a huge Batman fan. I was just using that as an example, but I do love Green Lantern. I always have. That's because of Jon Stewart, though. Like, see, it goes back to because I saw a black superhero on the screen as a kid, which wasn't the thing. Me and my cousins used to fight when we played Power Rangers. We'd be like, all right, I'm the Black Ranger. No, I'm the Black Ranger. That's how it was growing up.
Bro, you got to think about how socially and politically um, important that was for us to be that person. We're just having fun. We're just playing video games.
Right.
But like that was a real beef, bro.
Yeah.
Like I played Streets of Rage 2, like I needed to be Skate, bro.
Yeah,
Like
we didn't think anything of it.
like
We just
stop playing
said
with me.
it.
And he could have, and Skate wasn't the best character on the game. As a matter of fact, he probably was the worst character on the game. But
Didn't
you
matter.
wanted to be him. You wanted to be him, bro.
Yeah,
Like it was
that mattered to me. I mean, hey.
right. It was just important for us to be Skate, bro. Like we
Yeah.
had to be Skate. We always have to be the black person. And like, yeah, we're having fun, but like there was some real beast behind that. Like, bro, I'm not about to be Axel. I'm not gonna be Max. I'm Skate. You can throw hands
Axel,
with me.
nigga, no.
Right.
You be Axel then.
Right.
No.
Right. Right. So
And that's
like
why we not create really, because it was definitely black coded. They knew what they were doing, but like we gravitate to like these characters that we say is ours, like Piccolo and things like that. Panthera, and what they're black, but they weren't black people on the screen. They were black coded.
The attitude, the demeanor.
to my knowledge, and there was because I'm heavy into auctions and buying like art and stuff like that. There was some of the original sales for Thundercats. I believe, well, I don't know about prior to him. He was the very first actual black coded character. When they were coming up with the characters, they were white people. But Panthro was actually made as a black person in those early original sales.
Okay.
And then they
Wow.
eventually made them into, but yeah, Google it, man. Like it was like this made sense. You know what I mean? Like he was an actual black person.
They knew what they were doing. They knew how to. They were like, spring, get this black dollar in there.
Right.
But no, back to Atlantic Comic-Con. What are you most excited for this year?
Hmm.
Because honestly, I might be most excited for the theme, but that's just me.
Oh, bro, I feel like I can't because we didn't make any announcements on the programming yet. But I guess we can do some like this will be the reward for people watching your show. So
Hey, it's
yeah,
exclusive.
there you go. We're
Hey,
giving you the exclusive. And I guess that's something that you can annotate when you publish. Like, look, if you plan on being here, this is going to be first. So we're doing a gala, a formal gala, because our theme is Harlem Renaissance this year.
Yeah.
So on Friday night, we're going to be doing a gala. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it's going to be burlesque, jazz, all that food.
hey, okay.
I'm
Um,
with that.
yeah, so you're gonna have to dress. We're still gonna have
God,
an after party Saturday night, but on Friday night we're gonna be doing a formal Harlem Renaissance. And so I actually have my boy Quentin. He's doing the promotional flyer for it. So we're gonna do the Harlem Nights, the actual movie. You know how
Hmm.
me
mm,
and Richard Pryor
okay.
was back to
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna be doing
I
that with
sent that to
Riley
you.
and Huey. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the promo. So I'm giving y'all all of the goddamn
Oh
tea right
man,
now. Look,
that's
y'all
what's
Hey,
look.
up.
I'm over
Hey,
here trying to think,
and
man, what am
look.
I gonna wear?
So
Shoot.
technically, it's a
Okay.
day zero event. If
Yes,
you
yes,
guys,
yes. So
you
on
guys
my
about it.
flyer, you want me to put the flyer here? So on the flyer that I have, it actually says 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And that's what that 21st was alluding
Mm,
to. Beyond that, I don't want to give too much, man, because I haven't
we ain't
posted.
greedy. We ain't greedy.
So
I'm
I'll give you one
Say
more
what you
thing.
want.
about
Yeah,
to say,
so I'm gonna give you one more thing that I'm actually participating in.
Hmm.
So I'll be moderating a panel with all of, and I'm actually recruiting some other folks. Some of the former athletes that will be there alongside with some other athletes. And
Okay.
we'll be doing a panel on the bridge between like athletics and like real world. One of the unfortunate things that we're seeing, particularly within the Black community, is athletes having a hard time transitioning out of sport and they're
Yeah.
literally committing suicide. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's taboo at one point. But there, people are not being able to cope. And so like I have quite a few people who are interested, and we're talking about names, like your mama would recognize.
Yeah.
mm,
You know what I mean?
That's
Um, so that's going to be a huge panel, a
yeah.
huge, and I'll be moderating it. At one point, I was going to be one of the panelists, but I was just like, nah, I can't do that. But I'll be moderating the panel, and we'll have all of those super high achieving athletes on there. And so, to your point about my convention, it's everything, bro. Like, it's a cultural arts expo. You know what I mean? Like, sure, we're gonna have the nerd culture, like with us having Black Boma, we got big plans for her. She's going to be doing some crazy stuff that's gonna, she
I
might
haven't
be
heard the
the,
announcement.
yeah, like she might be the showstopper. The stuff that I got planned for her, like
okay.
super excited about, like just doing all of the things with the programming. Um,
Huge fan, because I love seeing
she's up,
people showing that black girls love Dragon Ball Z too.
bro.
Black
If you
girls love
think
Dragon Ball
like
Z
I
all
can't
of
too.
fall
that shit
asleep
is
on them, man.
real, it's
And she,
real,
hey,
bro.
I dare you to ask her to name something, and she gonna crush you
I'm
in
about to
Listen,
say,
a DBZ IQ debate.
she like,
I
okay,
thought
DBC,
that she
cool.
was just trying to be cute for Instagram, but like, nah,
She know
bro.
her shit.
Like she's on it. Like she was giving me ideas 2 or 3 days ago that she wanted to, and I was just like, listen, you can't go too hard because
She just
everybody.
say it. She just say it with what the kids say now, aura. She say it with aura.
Right, right. I say you can't be too like we got some really great plans for her. And we got one of our voice actors did Bordock on the DBZ movie. So
Okay,
we got some pairing stuff with them. Bro,
nice.
it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Like I ain't giving y'all no more info. Hell no.
I'm like, keep it going.
Right. But I
No,
think
it's so funny you had said cultural art expo, because that's what I was thinking earlier when you were saying that. I just have forgot to bring it back up, because that's what it, on the surface, you know, at it. its bones and blood is, comic and anime convention,
Mm.
but it is an expo for, celebrating Black culture within all these mediums.
Yep.
And like you said, like it's not really like a nightlife or underground because it's the lifeblood of it, but like, night gala event, you have this panel, which is I think about stuff like that all the time. And I can go on forever. Sometimes when I get around family, they're like, Corey, we just had a barbecue, man. I know you just been reading. Like, I'm
Fuck
sorry,
that.
man.
Look,
I
that's
be
why the
hearing
conventions
stuff,
are
man.
important, bro. You need to have your community, bro. Like, and I've been bragging on particularly the panel because, you know, I told my mom, and my mom is much, much older, and she damn near started tearing up. And I was like, Mom, I don't think there will ever be a time where there's a black astrophysicist that played SEC football, Olympic gold medalist. I don't want to give away the other names, but all of these people in the room at the same time. You know what I mean?
Well, you
Talking
already
about
know
it
consciously
will,
coming
it
back,
will,
right? That
yeah,
was
yeah,
another,
it
yeah,
will never happen like that again. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like in the physical, at least. And so,
Yes.
like, there's an
At
opportunity,
least not anywhere else.
right? Right. And we're
Maybe
talking,
again.
Everything's happened.
right. And you would think people like ESPN or Essence, like they should be the ones that are doing stuff like that. They have the gazillions of dollars, but don't worry about it.
Well,
We'll make it happen.
and that's the thing. Once you start, doing your own research, as they say, but actually and peeling back the layers, you start noticing things. Like you still have appreciation for other things and, organizations that help out the community, but you don't really see things like what's about to go down at Atlanta Comic Con,
Right.
or what they do at Atlanta Comic Con in previous years also. Like the panel you had with the Grits and Eggs Pod and Conscious Lee.
That was crazy.
That was special.
That
Just
was
being in that room alone.
that was crazy. And I kept getting pulled out of there, and I've never been so irritated in my life, bro. I was like, listen, man, just leave me alone for just another hour. I just want to enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
please.
Man,
right. Hey, man.
I
Yeah,
was
that was incredible, bro.
Man, people were like, whoa, we didn't know this year was about to be like this. That's how it was last year. They're like, whoa, this is how
And that
Atlantic
was
about to
just
be.
year two, man. That's the crazy. That was just year two.
Yeah.
Hold
yeah, hey.
on.
And here we are, year 3. Another milestone. Hey.
Speaking of the panel you were just talking about, and you were saying you were thinking about being a panelist, I was going to ask you about being a nerd and an athlete growing up and to this day, because you being a gym
So,
owner and a trainer, that's still an athlete to me.
right. So we're going to talk about that at the panel. Yeah.
I'll save that story.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, dog. That's a part of my questioning.
Okay.
You won't hear it from me, but you'll definitely hear it from the panelists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've handpicked some people who are not even guests at the show that's going to come in town just for that panel. So it's gonna be special, bro. It's
And say, I ain't gonna keep praying, but y'all heard it
Yeah,
here.
okay.
Like,
all right,
y'all
all
better
right. And
get, y'all
so
better get
speaking of
there.
which, Minty, he's doing the live tea demonstration.
What's that?
Minty, bong water.
Oh, yes. I forgot that if y'all had that was announcement, we actually mentioned that the first time you said he was going on, and then you had announced another thing about it. So
Yeah,
there you guys go. Minty, if you guys don't follow him, the black tea herbalist,
yeah,
tea connoisseur.
yeah.
He's on
It's
Instagram. Give him a follow.
Hey,
He's going to be out there. And I haven't drank coffee in about 2 years now, almost 2 years, because I switched to tea. Best
yeah.
decision, one of the best decisions I made because it makes me feel better. I don't feel as awful.
Your
And
energy,
yeah,
it
and I
wakes
get
you
my
up as
I
well.
get the things I need, my gingers, my lemon, the citrus, you guys
Talk
start
about
taking more care of your body. They'll start learning some of, this kind is not just for the arts and the fun of anime and things like that. It also, put a little bit of health back into your knowledge and body. Like
Yeah,
it's
got
got
to.
multiple facets.
It's every like again, we to have him on the show, what prompted me to so what made me reach out to him, I was looking at his content and he had asked a question about, I think it was Zelda, and I was like, uh-oh, he's one of us. I said he's one of us.
The antenna.
Oh, wait a minute. Who says
I
that?
said, uh-oh, he's one of us. I said, this is going to be an easy win over. It took me a very, very long time to get in contact with him, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest obstacle. And I know you didn't ask this question about
Yeah.
like
No.
what's difficult about organizing a convention,
It was one
but
of the
that
questions on my list.
okay, but we'll jump right to that right now. But being a booking agent is probably the hardest thing. Like just getting in contact with these people. They're getting millions of emails, they're getting millions of comments.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, easy to
you
get
know,
drowned out, just like
yeah,
that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you just gotta be diligent at it. You know what I'm saying? Like send multiple emails, multiple comments on their posts. Hopefully, you know, how I got with Minty, he had made a post and I think it was only like 15 seconds fresh. So I was the first person to comment. And then he picked up on it like that. And that was
Ah,
after months of me emailing him and like, yo, and we connected then. We had a couple of phone calls. He was really excited about it. He's ready to do demonstration. You know what I mean? Because his content is premium. I can't
yeah.
wait to see how that stuff plans out. In a studio session where there's
Yeah.
people there and he's doing his mixing stuff, and that's going to be incredible, though.
That's fire. I can't wait to check that one out because
For sure.
I've been in my tea bag. Like, no pun
Literally,
intended. No pun intended.
like literally, I've been in my bag. Like,
A quick question though about the panel. What day is it going to be on? That Saturday or Sunday?
don't know.
Not yet. Okay.
So we're
Yeah,
going to spread the wealth out. Like it will, the way that I do it, and I've actually handed this over to Dr. Witte, but I had made a point to her. Like, we don't want to like heavy load everything on Saturday, even though we know that that's when most people are going to be there.
Yeah.
So, like, if we are doing whoever we think like our biggest attraction is going to be, um, we'll have that person do something on Saturday, and then like our second biggest attraction will be on Sunday. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And then we'll kind of like so it could be like spread out enough where people feel like, oh man, Sunday was trash. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because they do get the traffic of the people that couldn't make a Saturday. May have like I noticed that last year at BlurredCon. I was like, whoa, there's a lot more people here at the end, and
Yep.
that's all these
Oh
people are
yeah.
in the same area. Like they're all looking for some black
Yeah.
event to go to,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to the nerd stuff. So like, and
Yeah.
then you have like a good attraction on a Sunday. I'll
Yeah.
definitely get people talking about it.
And I'm always surprised by how many people want to just like, and even have after hour stuff on a Sunday. And I'm just like, bro, where y'all work at? You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. Like, yeah, man, you need to figure out something for Sunday because we're going to stay to Monday. And I'm just like,
Some
Hey,
I
people.
don't go that
some
hard.
people missed out.
I don't go that hard. You know
Hey,
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
gotta have something for those who couldn't make it Friday or Saturday. So hey, Sunday you got a whole good lineup. So hey,
you know, today's America, people got crazy schedules because they got crazy demands for capital.
Oh, for sure.
But you also are a big advocate for Black literature slash literacy, and I saw you have a, a frequent infrequent book club that you do.
Yeah, so it's infrequent. It's one of those things where I want to devote more time to it, but I'm only one person. As you know, I'm promoting the show pretty heavily. I got shows booked pretty much every weekend up until
Hmm.
the convention, and so like the book club actually had to take a back seat, and I hate that because
Of
I buy
course.
all of the materials. As a matter of fact, if you brothers want some, hold on, give me 1 second.
So,
well, yeah, for sure.
Ah, man. I always got to ask about the book questions. That's one of my big things. My son can't play video games unless he read a book. It's just,
Oh, really?
So this is the most current book that we're reading. And I buy all of these for the
Mm.
people
Oh,
um
nice.
in our group. And
That's the biggest task for a book club. People be like, I don't got the money for the book. You got the books for them.
Yeah,
You
ain't
got the
no
books for
ain't no excuses, bro. Ain't no excuses. I buy them all. There you go. Have
them.
all your material that you need. And this is a good thing because like I bought this directly from the brother, you know what I mean? So we put a bunch of
Who's
money
the
in
author on that? I didn't see the name.
Dorel. Uh-oh. You see that?
Oh, a
it's
little bit. Oh, Jarrell
okay.
Caraballo. Okay, Caraballo. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So inboxed him. He wanted to give it to us. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Yeah,
that's
he
what's
wanted
up.
because I told him what we were doing, and he was like, "Wow, like, how do I, contribute?" I said, "No, no, 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 that's not what we're doing. I want to buy 10." You know what I'm saying? And I want to pay what everybody else pay
I'm
for it. You know
supporting.
what I mean? And so, I'm just really happy that I'm in a position that I can do things like this. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's super important to me.
yeah. 'Cause I always tell people that's one of the reasons I started All Nerd Entertainment. Um, it started just to not really like to give back, just to show, black young kids that black people are nerds. That's how it started out. And
Yeah.
then they would, I started going to convention. I'm like, oh, black cosplayers are doing the damn thing. So
Come on,
like
yeah.
you could
Wait.
do this, and it's not even just cosplayers. Some of them are very good at what they do. They can get jobs in
Yeah.
industries as like making costumes. You got, young girls the age of what, like 9, getting noticed on the news for doing makeup and stuff like that. Like their
Yeah.
skills, it just helps people just be themselves, express themselves fully. So that's another thing how I started. And now I'm just trying to do whatever I can. I help Nerd.0. That's how I met Certified, how I met Bruce. He was a part of Nerd.0, and Jamal. He does tons of charities and, things just to, promote positivity amongst nerd culture and black culture in general. And so I'm trying to work with him now to do like a back to school drive. Never done one before. So I was like, hey, do I just buy supplies and just give it to a school or something? Like I'm just walking around blind. But, seeing people like you know, Jamal just doing what y'all do, it's very inspiring, and it makes you want to get out of your ass and do something. Like do something, anything, whether it's just
We're
a
better
word.
together, bro. We're absolutely better together. And I'm very fortunate that I can do the things that I'm doing. And if I'm not giving back, then I'm doing something wrong. Um, I told myself a long time ago, after I made a certain amount of money, my success is no longer mine. My success is contingent on other people's success. So, if the goal is to create a convention, to my knowledge, I don't know that people are taking care of their guests like I take care of my guests as a black person at a convention. You know what I mean? I don't have any finance, I don't have no sponsors or nothing. You know what I mean? I do all of this shit out of my pocket. My guests, I pay for their flight, I pay for their hotel, you know, some of them get appearance fees, you know what I mean? Like I do all of that shit out of my pocket. All of
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? And you just don't see that especially when I offer them. They're like, damn, you doing all that? Like, yeah, you a
Yeah.
guest. You know what
Why
I
are
Well,
you
mean?
hey,
doing that?
Like,
Don't you treat me
see,
like
that's the
this?
thing. A lot of conventions don't do that, man. What you're doing, like, each free up, pretty much trying to look out. A lot of
right.
conventions, you'd be surprised. Even black ones, some, black conventions don't really do that. I don't know if BlurCon does that or DreamCon. I don't know if they do or not, but yeah, a lot of conventions don't do that. So
Get your
that's why
room
people
and
are
32 wolves.
appreciated. People are appreciated though for what you're doing though. Definitely doing that.
Yeah, I just know that people aren't doing what they should be doing for the community. You know what I mean? At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
The
I feel
guests,
like that's how it should be, like I don't like pocket watch or anything, just like, and I don't have a
but
lot
you
of money
should
myself, but
hear me out.
I
Hear
just,
me out.
oh,
You should. We're a community. Like the
it just
idea
feels
that we shouldn't
weird.
be concerned with other people and how they're doing things is weird to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're making gazillions of dollars, I should mind your pocket.
And that's where I was headed to. Like, I feel like we should look at you like you should. Like people say, like, oh, y'all feel like these celebrities should be obligated. It's like I kind of feel like they should. If they say, if especially if they're using the name of the culture for
Yep.
whatever they're doing, whether it's, in their art, or in their business endeavor, if they're, going off the only black guy in the room type thing. And I just feel like that's how it is. I just want to that's how I feel. I want to create a community where we not feed off each other, but feed each other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what it's about,
it just
bro.
feels nice. It
Uh,
should make you feel good to want to do that.
some of these guests and creators, bro, like they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, bro, you're a guest. Like you shouldn't be paying for
Hey,
nothing.
It's
gotta
in the
get to those.
title.
They're
It's
not
in the
used to that
title.
type of.
It's in the
So
title, guest.
right. So what are we? You're a guest. Like I don't. When you want to come to my house, I make sure you have a place to stay. You're fed.
That's
If
hospitality.
yes, you're a guest.
I'm not gonna
You know
expect you to
what I
cook for
mean?
me.
Like, don't give me no motherfucking pass and call me a guest. Like I'll pay for my own $50 fuck ass pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly how it be, man. Especially like I said, for like black creators or yeah, any black guest.
Right.
They're like,
Yeah, exactly. And it's I don't know if it's a slow burn, but it's not a non-existent burn. It creates a culture. I feel like people are starting to be more like that, despite what the algorithm feeds you.
Yeah.
I've never seen, you know, one black convention, let alone two close to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you said, you got these creators and guests that come to you. They feel the love from that, and they're doing it as well. So like, I mean, they all have messages. We all have messages, and we're spreading the positive message that we're trying to spread. And I feel like it's being felt and reached, despite what people may think, the way America may look, you
Yeah.
know. But where do you see or not where do you see? What do you want for the future of Atlantic Comic Con?
More attendees. That's it.
That's all I need.
Everything else will take care of itself. Like I'm already tired of coming out my own pocket. You know what I mean? Like I've been tired of that shit since year one. Um, but just more attendees and everything else will kind of take care of itself. Um, I'm going to keep improving the experience. We're
Hmm.
going to add more games. We're going to have better guests. We're going to have bigger guests. That's just how I'm set up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I ain't nobody will be able to say, yeah, bro, year one was hot, but year three was kind of trash. Like, no, that will never fucking be
He
me.
said we leveling
You know
up.
what I
We're
mean? Like,
leveling up. That's what we
yeah,
do.
don't
it's
be
only up
trying
from
to
here.
compare my different years because they all are great in a way like this. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like it helps when there's more people there, not only for myself, but like the vendors as well. My vendors does extremely well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think it's really important that there is more people so they can make even more money. One of the biggest things that kind of like the takeaway for me, especially with my very niche show, was having Stephanie Williams there last year. I'm name
Hmm.
dropping.
Yeah,
You
she
know,
was
I
there. We
really
talked about
yeah,
it.
Hey,
like I had an interview with her and I haven't posted it yet, but I'm going to. And I asked her, rate my convention from 0 to 10. She rated it 11.
ooh,
And I talked about business because I'm a business guy. I said, listen,
The
you're here
grad.
to make money. We love you. We love you to death. We are appreciative of your presence and everything that you put out here, but you're here to make some money. I said, talk about that at the show. And she was just like, look, in year one, excuse me, in day one, I made just as much money in day one at your show than I did any big show. And she was just like,
oh wow,
problem is that like I'm the biggest fish here, but when I'm next to like Tom King and Scott Snyder and all of these other people, the money gets it gets put into all of these places. And then also the attendees matter, like the
Yeah.
type of attendees matter. If you're going to Anaheim Fan Expo, they're not checking for Stephanie Wynn. We love her, but they're not checking for
They're
Stephanie
there
Wynn.
for there for her comic per se. Like not
Right,
really like the love for Stephanie Williams ain't gonna be
right,
felt in Anaheim.
right.
The way
And
it's gonna be
she
felt
said
at
that. She was like, there's a warmth here. And, we gave her the Agent of Change Award. I made sure I put her in a nice ass room. You know what I mean? She posted all of this stuff. And so like we're going to build on that, bro. Like those are like the greatest moments for me when we've won people over like her. And then the following year she gets nominated for an Eisner.
I didn't go unnoticed either. I was like,
Then the following year she gets nominated for an Eisner. So like, bro, that's what this is about. You know what I'm saying? Like we rolled the red carpet out her before anybody did. You know what I mean? We made sure that she was straight. We made sure that she was acknowledged. We made sure that, you know what I'm saying? Like even in her room, bro, like I'm getting to all of the details. There was a gift basket with her name on it.
Yeah,
I was
hey,
gonna say, you
go all
said
out for your guest.
Yeah.
I just had a question. Is that like a thing, conventions? Did they give like guest awards and things like that?
Some
Some,
uh some of them do. Some of them don't. But we make it a point
not the
that
norm.
something that we're going to do year after year. We're actually building on that as well, and I won't get into the details of that. But
Just wanted to check in on that and put a highlight on it for the people watching.
thank you,
It's
thank
just
you,
like,
thank you. No, we
you get
we
treated
Let them
nice?
know.
Ooh.
we treat our guests like royalty. Like that's by design. That's by intention. We want people to feel welcome. And then also we're competitive. Let's just call it what it is. Like we want our shit to be better than everybody else's. That has
Entrepreneur.
to look like something. It has to look like something. It has
You
to
got
feel
it.
like something too. You know what I'm
Got to
saying?
keep building for a reason. You can't be, you're all building for a reason. But no, man. I appreciate you coming on. I don't have a whole anything else you had wanted to ask.
No, just please follow, the Atlantic Comic Con, Instagram and Facebook. It's all one word on Instagram, and then three words Atlantic Comic Con on Facebook. Buy a ticket, and if you're not in the town, buy a ticket and give it to somebody that's going to be in town. It's going to be an amazing time. Like it.
I didn't even bother asking you about the DC blackout thing because I already know where you stand on black comments and things like that. And like that's where I stand. I be trying to tell people and I be looking crazy. I'm like, man,
Nah, bro, we see eye to eye on that shit. I listen. I kept my mouth closed purposefully during that. I know you picked up on that because I ain't with that shit at all. I do not like for no motherfucking black people to be begging white people for space in their companies. That shit is weird to me.
yeah. And
Like
I look at it as like we could if you like don't think of it as a boycott, just shift your priority comics,
yeah,
just go
Yeah,
to
man.
like the material is there. These black comics is
Yeah,
good,
materials, the
like
stories, yeah, absolutely
original,
right.
bro, bro.
fire,
It's
boy.
it's it's like you are they have all the power. When you boycott something like that, an entertainment medium,
Yeah,
you're outwardly saying that they have power. And because you're not doing something that we like, we're going to try to take it back. And that's never successful because they don't do shit with you in mind anyway.
Gotta
Like,
take it back. We had to had it first.
right, right. And so, like, I don't like anything like that. Like, nah, bro. Like, as a small business guy who creates activations, I'm not begging. You don't need to pat me on my head. I don't need permission or none of that weird shit, bro. Like I'm buying indie stuff. And if I decide to buy a Marvel or a DC book, that's just be it. But like I'm not buying that Marvel or DC book because a black person is on it. I don't buy that shit as is, but I'm just not interested in it, man. Like I've grown beyond supporting big business and stuff like that when my people need it. I have dual copies of Roots of Madness. I don't need to buy her DC. What was the latest DC joint that she did with Milestone, and they all was on it.
But I think I got it right over here. The Static joint you were talking about during Black History
Yeah,
Like
Month.
that.
I don't know why I keep forgetting
exactly,
the name of it.
exactly,
I
man.
have it right over here.
How about that
But
shit,
yeah,
man?
like I was telling people, I don't like the feeling I get when I walk into a comic book shop and I'm asking for a black creator that did something in the space of DC and Marvel, and y'all look at me crazy because that's how it happened when I was looking for that the first time. Because it usually happens to people that aren't well versed in comics like I am. I'm
Yeah.
asking questions and then not knowing about the comic book list that actually you know profits, the writers and things like that. I had no idea about that shit. I'm out on that stuff. So y'all, if you care, at least I'm not telling you abandoning your shit, but follow
I'm telling you
suit.
to abandon your shit and buy black people stuff. Fuck it.
Prioritize.
I'm
Black
not.
people,
Hey, straight
you heard
to
it here first. And get your tickets to Atlantic. Look, you almost had me do it. I'm about to.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm about to say city. I was saying, I heard it.
Get your tickets to Atlantic Comiccon coming up August 21st
22nd.
for
Yep.
the day zero. If you bout it. If you bout it, you're gonna come to day zero. And you're gonna stay till Sunday because it's gonna be stuff every single day of Atlantic Comic-Con.
But I like.
Ryan, appreciate you coming on.
You
And
guys.
like I said, our services, I'm gonna shoot you some messages about some things, I think about,
Okay.
I can add to people's, convention, what I can bring to the table. Me, the whole Nerdcast podcast. I think it's just gonna be me and Certified there this time, but we're gonna get everybody out there next year.
Okay.
So, guys, we got to have the whole crew out there, man.
Can't get off without saying congratulations on the successful year last year, not just the convention, but the entire year. The connections, your success with your gym. If y'all in the area, y'all looking to get right, mind and body, go on down and holla at them. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much. It really means a lot, man.
But yeah, nerds, we appreciate y'all hanging out with the Nerdcast podcast, and we will see y'all next time. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Deuces.